Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 28 on complex differentiation. In this lecture we are going to discuss about analyticity of the complex logarithmic function. Now we are familiar with logarithmic function and we also know that logarithmic function of a complex variable is multi-valued function. But if we want to discuss analyticity of a complex valued function, then it is defined for single valued function only. If our function is not single valued, then we cannot talk about analyticity of that function. So first we can restrict our domain such that this function becomes single valued function. Whenever I write ln z equal to log of mod z plus I times argument of z, and if I consider r equal to absolute value of z and theta equal to argument of z, then I can write this as ln r plus I times theta. If z is non-zero complex number, then we know this definition of complex logarithmic function: log of absolute value of z plus I times argument of z, and we consider r equal to absolute value of z, notation for absolute value of z, and argument of z is denoted by theta. Then we write our function in terms of r and theta. Now we know that this argument of z has infinite number of possible values. Therefore this function is infinitely valued function or multi-valued complex function. So we cannot talk about its analyticity, and this r is a unique number, but this multi-valued function depends upon this argument of complex number. Because of infinite number of possible values of argument of z, this function is multi-valued function. So if we can restrict the value of theta in such a way that our argument becomes unique, if we restrict our domain in such a way that theta is restricted between two real numbers in such a way that we have only one value for argument of z. For example, we know that if we consider principal argument of z, then our theta is in between minus pi and pi, and that is only one value of theta. So similarly, suppose we restrict our theta in between these two numbers, say alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, where alpha is any real number. For example, if we take alpha equal to minus pi, then this will become minus pi less than theta less than minus pi plus 2 pi, that is minus pi to pi. That will give us principal argument. So in general, suppose alpha is any fixed real number, and if we restrict the argument in such a way that argument is in between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, then in that case this function becomes single valued function, and we can talk about analyticity of that single valued function. And we know that if we want to check analyticity of any complex function, then first we determine the points of differentiability of that function, and for differentiability we are using Cauchy-Riemann equations: del u by del x equal to del v by del y, and del u by del y equal to minus del v by del x. But suppose our function is written in terms of polar coordinates, say u r theta plus I times v r theta, then we use polar form of Cauchy-Riemann equations that we remember as del u by del r equal to 1 by r times del v by del theta, and del u by del theta equal to minus del v by del r, and here r is greater than 0, that is here we are not considering z equal to 0. But here also in our definition, because log z is defined only for non-zero complex numbers, we can have r is greater than 0, that is absolute value of z, and we can use Cauchy-Riemann equations to determine the differentiability of this logarithmic function restricted to the domain which is given by r greater than 0, alpha less than theta less than alpha plus 2 pi, where alpha is real number. For different values of alpha we will have different domains, and in those different domains our function log z will be single valued function. So we are discussing for general domain, and we assume that if alpha is fixed, and therefore our function is single valued function in this domain. And first we will determine the satisfaction of Cauchy-Riemann equations in using polar form, and then we will check the continuity condition also. And here alpha is in between, theta is in between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, and because r is greater than 0, we have z is non-zero. Now we try to check or determine the differentiability. Before that I have written all these things systematically. Suppose they ask you to check the analyticity of logarithmic function, then you can start writing in this way. We have written polar form of complex number which is non-zero. We know that if r is absolute value of z and theta is argument of z, then polar form of z is r into cos theta plus I sin theta, and this we can rewrite as r into e raised to I theta. So I have written in this form. This is non-zero complex number. Now by definition of logarithmic function we know that ln z is ln absolute value of z plus I times argument of z, and because we have written z equal to r e raised to I theta, we have absolute value of z equal to r and argument of z equal to theta. So here we put absolute value of z equal to r and argument of z equal to theta. So we have expressed our function in this form, u plus iv, where u is real part of log z which is ln r and v is theta. And we know that this is multi-valued function, so we restrict our domain in this way. Let alpha be any real number and let theta be restricted as alpha less than theta less than alpha plus 2 pi. That is, we are restricting the argument of z in such a way that it lies between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi. And if we consider this domain, then this domain where r is positive and theta lies between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, then in this domain this function logarithm of z is single valued and continuous in this domain also. And now we compare this with u plus iv, and we find that u is log r and v is theta. So they are known as components of log z, that is real and imaginary parts of log z are u equal to ln r and v equal to theta, where r and theta satisfies these two conditions. That these two conditions will give us the domain in which this function is single valued. Now first I will check CR equations. So for that I will require partial derivatives of u and v with respect to r and theta. Here u is ln r, therefore del u by del r is 1 by r, and there is no theta in u, therefore del u by del theta is 0. We consider r as constant when we differentiate with respect to theta. Here r is absent, therefore partial derivative with respect to r is 0 and del v by del theta is 1. Now what are the Cauchy-Riemann equations? First Cauchy-Riemann equation is del u by del r equal to 1 by r times del v by del theta. Here del u by del r is 1 by r, del v by del theta is 1, and if we multiply it by 1 by r, we will have 1 by r times v theta. So this equation is satisfied at all points z in this domain. Second Cauchy-Riemann equation is del u by del theta equal to minus r times del v by del r, and we can see that here it is 0 for all possible complex numbers in the given domain, and here also this is 0. So this equation is also satisfied. So we can say that clearly del u by del r equal to 1 by r times v theta, and del u by del theta equal to minus r times del v by del r. These two Cauchy-Riemann equations are satisfied in the domain which we have restricted as r is greater than 0 and alpha less than theta less than alpha plus 2 pi. And in this domain r is greater than 0, therefore there is no problem here when we write 1 by r. And we can see that all these are constants, therefore they are continuous, and here r is greater than 0, therefore 1 by r is also continuous in this domain. So we can write second condition of differentiability, that clearly del u by del r, del u by del theta, del v by del r and del v by del theta are continuous in this domain. And this means both the conditions of differentiability are satisfied in the domain. Therefore we can write that ln z is differentiable at every point or differentiable everywhere in the stated domain. We are not writing this domain every time. We can say that ln z is differentiable in the stated domain. Therefore log z is differentiable at every point in the stated domain, and we know that if function is differentiable everywhere in the stated domain, then function is analytic in the stated domain. Or function is analytic in the domain where r is greater than 0 and theta is in between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, where alpha is any real number. So you have to understand little bit hard here. We are first converting multi-valued function into single valued function by restricting the argument of a complex number, and for that restriction we consider any fixed real number, and we restrict argument in such a way that it lies between alpha and alpha plus 2 pi, and when we restrict our argument between these two numbers, we have only one possible value for theta for every non-zero complex number. Therefore this function becomes single valued. After that things are easy. We compare with u plus iv, we find out partial derivatives of u and v, and we see that CR equations are satisfied in this domain, and second condition of continuity is also satisfied in this domain. Therefore log z is differentiable everywhere in the domain which we have written, and therefore log z is analytic in the stated domain. So here we have discussed about analyticity of logarithmic function by making it single valued by restricting the domain, and we have proved the analyticity using Cauchy-Riemann equations in polar form. If you recall, we have discussed Cauchy-Riemann equations in polar form in lecture number 8 on complex differentiation. So this is all about this session. We will continue with this series in upcoming lectures. Thanks for watching.